Good Monday morning, everyone. Welcome back. You're watching the Kaiser Report. We're back in the studio today after a lovely weekend away, visiting several places. One that you probably saw the video posted Sunday from Friday, Saturday, where we were at the Switzerland Inn in Little Switzerland, North Carolina. Wonderful visit there, wonderful meals, and we got to take you for a walk around their facility there, which is just laden with beautiful views, good food, friendly people, and just a wonderful, relaxing time had by all. But that doesn't mean we quit there, because we came back Saturday and Sunday. Yesterday we went to see a reenactment that took place at Sycamore Shoals here in East Tennessee, which was the reenactment of the militia that formed and went to the fight in Kings Mountain to stop the British invasion over that mountain, and it was a wonderful, wonderful museum there, and we will be posting some of that. I did take some video there, and we'll get that out to you one day this week, I promise. So around the world today, we're looking at some heated problems taking place still in Israel with Lebanon. Netanyahu has published a warning to the people there that are in the area where Hezbollah is bunkered down, and asked them to leave the area. So there will be some more strikes happening there. The retaliation into Israel over the weekend was well noted, and they're going to continue to clean out the fighters that are there and the leaders of Hezbollah that are promoting the fighting, and the missile launches will be dealt with by the Israelis. And I believe, in my belief, they have every right to defend their country as it is right now.
Nip it in the bud.
But anyway, here we are inundated with all of the election woes that go on, and the fighting back and forth between both parties. He said, she said, more and more of this. Let's look for the levity in everything that's going on, and let's look at the fact that Joe Biden once again showed up in full dementia with a cabinet meeting run by that he turned over to Jill. So I guess Jill is running the country. But he was there introducing some dignitaries from other parts of the world and couldn't remember the name. So he got angry and yelled at his staff for not providing that quick enough into his earpiece, I guess. And someone who will be named later. So Joe's at it. Joe should not have his fingers anywhere near the nuclear buttons. I'm sorry. I don't know why our Congress and Senate can't wake up and realize this, but they don't. And for Jill to be sitting at the head of the table running everything, I don't believe that she was elected to do any of that. And the world is watching as we sink deeper and deeper into unreadiness to defend anything in this country, based on the fact that we have people running this show that really, really should not be in charge.
That's not right.
Everyone has wondered for 6 or 7 months right now who is running this country, and we don't have an answer for it. But the world knows that we are at a very weak point, both instead of having people that can make these decisions and broker a peace agreement, or even deal with a foreign dignitary on a level that will be construed as being a point of strength. We are devoid of that right now. And now we have one person running for presidency that has the ability to do that, and another which is more of the same because she is in sitting charge of this mess right now. And if you think for 1 minute that by putting her back into power and moving her up to a promotion of the President of the United States that things will get any better, you're sadly mistaken. Because everyone with a thinking, working brain knows it will just be another 4 years of what she's given us in the last 4 years. So, substance and how you will make these things that you're promising happening is not there. It's a mirage. You're walking through a desert driven by the mainstream media to believe everything that is fantasy and not true, and no foundation to any of what they are telling you.
Let me think about that.
This continuing resolution that they're coming up with to keep the government open, why in the world, you must ask yourself, why in the world would they balk on this until you took out the act that keeps people that are non-citizens from voting in this election? That should indicate to you that they need these people to stay in power and to keep fooling you for another 4 years. Ooh. Unfortunately, if that should happen, you're not going to have another 4 years to make a change, because everything that you know about the U.S. of A. that you have grown up in will be gone. We have a powder keg in the Middle East that is on fire. We have China positioning themselves all around Taiwan in the Pacific Rim, where they want to go after Japan, the Koreas, Australia, and the like. And the Chinese Navy alone outnumbers us 9-1. And they're building more ships and more armament. Every day of the week they are producing, while we have cut back to next to nothing. But the opportunity economy is what we have to look forward to.
What a maroon.
Unburdened by the past. Whose past? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's past is what we're burdened with right now. And we have to carry that burden into this election in November and make sure that it does not continue. Because we are at a very crucial point in this country, history and survival. It's there. It's right in front of your eyes what's happened in the last 4 years. The immigration problem that is in the news daily now, because it's been brought to everyone's attention. And by the way, if you didn't know, or you didn't live in a sanctuary city where all this is taking place, maybe you live in a rural community such as Springfield, Ohio, where the media is doing their best to silence the citizens of Canton, Ohio, and Springfield, Ohio, and places like that, where these immigrants have taken over a small town They're driving cars without licenses, without insurances. There's been a school bus hit. There's a lot of crime taking place and being covered up by mainstream media and the Democratic Party. Who put them there? Let's look at things as they really are, not the fantasy land painted for you by this Democratic Party and its complicit news media cycles that do everything under the sun to block out you from knowing what the truth is and covering it up with news media that is irrelevant to what's going on in this country, such as the P. Diddy BS that they're pumping down everybody's throat right now. It's a cover-up. And speaking of cover-ups, we have the best cover-up of all time is the 2 attempted assassination attempts on a past president who is currently running for president of the United States. And there's an awful lot of suspicious activity involved in the first one.
You hearing this?
If you haven't been up to date on that, the FBI got in, made sure the body was cremated immediately, and then were hosing off all DNA evidence from the roof where this shooter was had his life taken by the Secret Service, supposedly. It's interesting why that happened. No one asking questions from the media. Would you say that they are complicit? I would. And then you have the second attempt where there was a golfing outing decided, not published, but this guy was in the bushes and ready 12 hours ahead of the fact that they decided to do this, which would indicate to me there is a leak somewhere in either the Secret Service or in Trump's own entourage that they would know that far ahead of time. And then, by the way, this guy who makes supposedly as a roofer made $3,000 a month, how does he get the ability to take a $7,000 trip from Hawaii first class into Florida, get set up, get a gun when he's already been convicted on gun charges, so he is in possession of a weapon illegally, and you're going to convince me that this guy didn't have help, high up help, to pull all this off? He had the money to get to the Ukraine. He has the money to recruit people for the Ukraine army, the mercenaries and people of that nature. But this guy makes $3,000 a month, and he has a very, very weird history when it comes down to it. So we have to thank the good Lord that we have somebody like Ron DeSantis in charge in Florida that is not going to turn this guy over to the feds that have a hand slap and disappear. He is going to prosecute this perpetrator as he should be prosecuted. Does that not mean that someone will put a piece of paper in front of Dementia Joe and have him pardoned? No. They're going to do it for Hunter, and they're going to do it for anybody connected with a backroom attempt at assassination of someone running for the President of the United States. Everything about both of these assassination attempts is very, very fishy. And if it wasn't for the finger of God, he would not be with us today. I mean, we're talking a centimeter difference in death and survival. And no one in the news cycle kept it going for more than a week and a half. But P. Diddy, they'll run 3 weeks on him because it's a cover-up. Anything that Kamala needs to stay viable. And in my estimation, she's already proven that she can't put a substance answer together without going off on some story tangent and things that make no sense to anyone. When she's asked the simple question like, what are you going to do to lower prices? Well, when I was a little girl, I went to school on a yellow school bus and I fell from a coconut tree, and whatever the heck else she can come up with. That is a cover-up of the fact that there is no substance, there is no answer, and there are no plans of doing anything differently than you and I have experienced for the 3.5 and more years that she has been in a seat of power, and covering up the fact that the President of the United States was not all there mentally. Enough said. If you haven't figured that out yet, or you think that you can listen to the mainstream media convince you that you need to be in fantasy land with the rest of the soy boys and everybody else connected with this diversity cabinet that sits there and lies to you, and Jean-Pierre the other day was caught hands down in not being able to explain why, with 2 attempts on someone's life, they keep pushing the rhetoric that this man is dangerous, a threat, and this is coming out of their mouths daily. When you tell somebody weak of mind with the ability to do wrong that you're being threatened, they feel that they're in the right to go out and do something about it, and in some cases, that's very, very dangerous.
I have no control over what you do with the phaser.
So let's be careful of what we say about people on both sides. They either have the ability to do what they say they're going to do, or they have shown you the inability to do it while they were in that position and able to do these things, such as the border, such as the economy, such as the banking regulations that have choked off and closed down some banks as a result of poor fiduciary responsibilities. We know what both of these candidates have offered us in vision, and we know what they have accomplished in the past. Both have a record. It's on the balance scale right now, and you need to make the decision based on fact, not personality, not what someone else tells you you need to know, such as the media, which is hook, line, and sinker, bought and paid for by the Democratic machine, and we know this. And if you don't know it, pay attention, and you'll realize it very quickly.
Wicked witch, oh no, wicked witch.
Such as in a debate where you have 3 against 1, and 2 of the moderators are 2 of the parties that were against the 1. Unbelievable. But it's there. It's shown to you. You see it physically for yourself. Make good, solid, informed decision. The non-informed voters in this country need to inform themselves of what the issues are on both sides of this Democratic and Republican aisles. Where's it going? You're looking at Republicans that could not even sway a vote to protect our voting booths and our voting from being corrupted by non-citizens.
It's a disgusting habit.
They are reluctant to do that. So if these people are on the down ballot, you need to make sure that they don't exist after this election. Vote them out and send them home. They'd be much better off working on their city councils rather than being in our Congress with a do-nothing attitude or an agenda to just get rich. And that happens more than you know.
Shocking.
But anyway, getting back to the weekend, we had a wonderful, wonderful time, and we're looking forward to getting some of that reenactment out on film for you to watch. And we're embarking on a new week, and hopefully we'll get some better news here and there. Early voting, I guess, is opened in some states. As I tell you, and have been telling you, I'm not a proponent of early voting in the past, but I will be early voting this year, and I urge you all, if your mind is made up, don't wait for day of election, because there can be so many things that can go wrong and hold things up there. So get your voices heard early this election cycle, because it is the most important election in most of our lifetimes in these United States. And please understand that, and please say prayers every day for the enlightenment of the masses, that they will wake up and understand what everything means. And we need God back in this country, and we need his help in understanding what it is that we need to do as citizenry in this country to help fix the things that are wrong. And by all means, when you're on your knees and saying a prayer or walking through the woods talking to God today, please ask that we see peace in our lifetimes in the Middle East and protect the Jewish population from annihilation, because that's what these Arab states are after right now. God love you all. God bless you. We'll see you back here on the Kaiser Report tomorrow. I wish you a very wonderful Monday. Plan for a great week. Think positive. Pray. And go out in God's beautiful nature. Breathe some fresh air and think. God bless you. Bye-bye now.